ROK-U.S. alliance, we fight together. The aviation group of Republic of Korea Marine Corps was finally re-established on December 1st, this year in 48 years. In the military event of the memorable day, the 6 admirals of the United States Marine Corps who attended powerfully shouted, "We fight together," instead of symbolic slogan of the long-standing ROK-U.S. alliance, "We go together." Currently, Chinese government set the first island chain and the second island chain around the island in the Pacific Ocean and included the Republic of Korea, Japan, and even the countries in Southeast Asia in the island chains. In addition, Chinese government is arguing that some parts of the history and culture of the Republic of Korea belong to the Chinese Communist Party. We interpret that this military and diplomatic stance of the Chinese government is a sort of a military provocation and declaration of war. The Republic of Korea had faced and come close to the unification of the Korean Peninsula during the Korean War, the Holy War for Freedom. However, at the time, the Chinese Communist Party sent about 300,000 of Chinese invading army to the peninsula, and due to the participation of Chinese Communist Army, the Republic of Korea failed to unify the peninsula and has underwent severe sufferings for over 70 years. We distinctly regard China as the country of war criminals. History is constantly repeated. At present, we judge the North Korean regime is in precarious state, and the unification based on liberal democracy of the Korean Peninsula achieved by the Republic of Korea seems to be near at hand. Thus, we think that Chinese Communist Party may try to disturb the unification of the peninsula again with its military forces, and also it may carry out military operations in order to take away our territory. All people of the Republic of Korea have to fight together with the United States of America in order that we should defend this land inherited from our ancestors from the ambition of invading the land of Chinese Communist Party, and that we should rescue our people, our brothers and sisters in North Korea suffering from enormous oppression by Kim Jong-un regime. After the end of the Chosin dynasty, about 400 missionaries from the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Canada entered the Korean Peninsula, and they spread the concept of the Bible and liberty. Thanks to their help, the Western culture was introduced in the peninsula, and based on their sacrifices and commitment, the Republic of Korea that will save humankind from the international communist powers was finally founded. South Koreans always and sincerely appreciate the sacrifices and commitment of the great 43,000 missionaries whom God sent to this land in order to save South Koreans. Also, during the Korean War, about 1,789,000 of American soldiers participated in the war, and 54,246 young souls of the soldiers went to their final rest and returned to God. Most of South Koreans feel the same pain as if their children die at war, and they sincerely thank the U.S. Army for their sacrifices and dedication. We South Koreans again thank all of our American soldiers. For protecting the Republic of Korea, and appreciate all Americans who allowed the U.S. government to use about $67 billion of the U.S. tax in restoring the totally destroyed South Korea. Right after the Korean War, many American churches sent enormous quantity of relief supplies to South Koreans in order to save God's children suffering in South Korea, where almost all things were destroyed with South Koreans. Then all people related to the American churches again. Now we should cooperate with the countries, including the U.S., of the free world, and should overcome the Chinese Communist Party and rescue the people suffering from oppression in North Korea, Xinjiang, Tibet, Inner Mongolia, Manchuria, and Hong Kong. Today, we gather together in front of the statue of General MacArthur in this Freedom Park in Incheon in order to hold the event commemorating the Battle of Chosin Reservoir that the U.S. Marine Corps and Korean Army fought against the Chinese Communist Party, and the Hungnam evacuation called as a miracle of Christmas that the American soldiers abandoned all of military supplies in order to let more than 100,000 of North Korean refugees in Hungnam take several ships, including the SS Meredith Victory, and finally and safely evacuate the refugees into Gojedo, Gyeongsangnam province, South Korea. We held the event last year, and today's event is the second time. Most of all, General MacArthur succeeded in the Operation Crown Might, having had an extremely slim chance of success during the Korean War, the Holy War for Freedom. General MacArthur is obviously a great hero who saved the free world from the invasion of international community powers. Now the Republic of Korea should be more than sea war, protecting the free world from the spread of international communist powers, and should let Chinese Communist Party collapse through overwhelming wave of freedom and build Freedom Expressway, reaching from Yeouido to Pyongyang, Manchuria, Mongolia to Europe. The mission given to us is that we let Chinese Communist Party collapse and build our Freedom Expressway. Now, it's time to return their favors that we received from the people in 63 countries which helped and protected us during the Korean War, the Holy War for Freedom. We fight together. We fight together. We fight together.
We fight together.
We fight together.
We fight together.
We fight together.
감사합니다.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
네, 인지연 우리 자유공정연합 대표님 영어로 감사의 기자회견문을 낭독해 주셨습니다. 오늘 그 중요한 순서 이 기자회견문 낭독 두 분